Imagine a small boy standing in front of a massive stone building. A boy who knew very little English, was hardly taller than his father's knee, and was completely terrified of being left alone in unknown places. That boy was me. Looking back to that first day, and standing in those size 1 shoes, school, to me, must have looked like a Rubik's Cube. A Rubik's Cube was a puzzle which, at that time, I didn't know how to solve. 9 years of schooling, however, have taught me a new algorithm to solve my puzzle. I have learned that any new journey begins with the first step. And my first lesson began in a classroom with Mrs. Kennedy. If I had known even a little bit about Mrs. Kennedy when I first arrived at CCCS, I would not have been the least bit afraid. My interests were varied, scattered, and disconnected. Sometimes I dreamt of being a track star, or a soccer, basketball, and football player. How about a scientist, or a horse jockey, and, oh, maybe a part-time astronaut. Mrs. Kennedy, you could say, brought me down to earth, while still opening up so many new possibilities for me. I also met my classmates for the first time that year. Little did I know that they would become my teammates and confidants for the next 9 years. Grade 1 blew me away into a whirlwind of fun and learning. Mrs. Blue was my biggest role model, and the banana bookstore was a fun place to spend my money. Mrs. Meisner and Miss Hodges were a dynamic teaching duo, and in grade 2, I thought I was a boy who was fully grown because I wore size 3 shoes and a tie with my uniform. Mr. Lurie was the teacher who first introduced me to poster projects, helping me solve more of my Rubik's School mystery puzzle. Those grade 3 projects have been the basis of every socials and science project since. Throughout those elementary years, my teachers and classmates helped me build a strong academic foundation. Thank you. Grades 4 and 5 really helped me solve more of my school puzzle. I remember starting my prestigious climb up the stairs, thinking I was in a whole new world. Mrs. Cherena's kindness soon made me feel right at home. During those years, I encountered change room lock-ins, new friends, new experiences, and of course, heated soccer arguments during lunchtime. In grade 5, Miss Brizzoni was not only a wonderful educator, but also an avid musician and public speaker. Her favorite animal, an owl, seemed to reflect her personality, as I felt she was as wise as an owl. I thank you so much, Miss Brizzoni, because your lessons and stories helped me prepare for my next challenge, middle school. Middle school, although just a fraction of my time here at CCCS, has taught me so many new things. 3 new experts, namely Mr. Rhodes, Cody, and Patricio, joined our soccer discussions. Our class now ate in the mezzanine, and we had the entire top corner to spew out our impressive soccer statistics and sidestep the embarrassing ones. I thank Mr. Rhodes, Cody, and Patricio for all their banter, all in fun. Grade 6 itself was a blur, as I suddenly had so many more options, and I felt like the youngest kid in the school again. Miss Selshert went out of her way organizing math competitions and science fairs, which I have had the honor to participate in. Grade 7 was made very enjoyable by Miss Corp, and how she managed so many things at once, I will never know. Not all my lessons were learned during school hours, however. Jazz band, directed by Mr. Enns, was one example. 7:30 7:30 a.m. jazz band practices were challenging, but worthwhile. Yes, it was difficult to wake up so early, but my fellow musicians and I really do sound good now. Summer came and went, and then I found myself sitting in Mrs. McEwen's grade 8 classroom. She warned me at the beginning of the year that the time would fly by, and I should have listened better. Thank you so much, Miss McEwen, for everything you have done. From teaching me how to write an essay, to showing me good strategies in badminton. You seem to have a lot of expertise in so many areas. When you announced that we were writing our valedictorian speeches, I must admit, I wasn't too concerned, because my speech has been 9 years in the making, and the images of all my classmates, teachers, and memorable moments here at CCCS are still fresh in my mind. My journey at Christ Church Cathedral School is now over. My Rubik's Cube is solved, and this entire community has helped me solve it, and I thank you so much for that. To my teachers, the lessons I learned from you, I'll keep all my life. And to my classmates and fellow peers, I will remember all our memories together, especially the laughs. Although we may be going our own ways now, I sincerely hope our paths will cross ways in the future. Thank you.